Speaking of AEW, Matt, before we get into this tournament here, I got to ask a few stories this week surrounding the Hardys. The Sammy Guevara alleged suspension that Sean Ross Sapp reported about. And then as we tape this on Wednesday, just about an hour ago, he reported that your contract's coming up in March this month. You did debut in March of 2020. So the cycle in theory would line up. What, if any, insight can you provide to people about any of this stuff?
But do you know if I signed a 4-year contract or was it a 5-year contract?
I don't know what the 8-year length contract you signed. So
then I was just going to say that the whole thing about Sammy being suspended was all new to me until it was broken by Sean Ross Sapp. That was all new to me. But it is what it is, I guess. So as far as that goes with my contract, people had asked about my contract coming up. And obviously I've got, after that news broke earlier today, and it didn't come from me because no one had known anything about it. So once again, Sean Ross Sapp breaking the news, right? Yes, it is coming up in March, and we've spoke about it, and we've talked about it, and I guess we'll see what happens. So we'll see. If you listen to the podcast, just give me your feedback. Tell me what you think I should do next. I'm a person of the people. I listen to the people.
Because we always have the most rational takes come in for the extreme.
Of course, they'll be good. I'm a person of the people. Give me your take. I've already seen hundreds online today since that report dropped.
It'll be like the old American Idol stuff. Text in your response. Text should resign to 26432. Oh man. Yeah. Oh man, that's a can.
They started tweeting, "Let's go Cena sucks."
There you go.
Let's go Cena sucks.
There you go. Hey man, listen, whatever you choose to do, one thing I've learned about you is you roll with the punches, and you are, and this is something I will say, I'm not angling for you in any which way, whatever. From getting to know you in the last 3 years, and I mean, I think anyone who listens to this podcast knows this too. You are the consummate team player for whoever team you're on. You are all in on doing the best you can to promote that product and promote the people around you and make the people around you better. So whoever ends up with Matt Hardy is, again, a damn good teammate. That is for sure.
No, so, I will say that if I work with you and you're taking care of me, I'm going to fly that flag high and with pride. That's what I do, man. And that's what you're supposed to do. That's what being a wrestler is. I mean, sometimes people get, the tribalism about jumping from, if someone's in WWE and they leave and go to AEW, or if someone's in AEW, they leave, they go to WWE, or, even a TNA or Impact, whatever. I mean, like, it's like jobs. I mean, I'm sure there's been a ton of people that have had jobs that there's been cuts or whatever, and they leave and they go somewhere else to another radio station, another TV station, or, you've been in the TV business. Now you're doing some SNY, whatever. And it's just, there's not as much hatred, but I mean, wrestling is the same thing. And I understand people are big fans of certain promotions and whatever, and they support those guys. Like that's their New York Yankees, or that's their New York Giants, or whatever it may be. That's their, Philadelphia Eagles. That's the Boston Red Sox. And they specifically go for that team. But these players who leave, I mean, they're going to go where the best opportunities are for them, where they can make the most money, and they have the most, probably they have the best schedule, and then what's best for them and their family. That's what most people are thinking. So that's what it comes down to the end of the day. And, you want to go somewhere, I feel like, where you're respected, you're appreciated, and also where you can financially do the best for you and your family. That's really the goal of business.
Yeah, and you're not saying one way or another about what your current experience is, but I know you've spoken very highly about AEW on this podcast many times, Tony Khan specifically.
Ever since I came to AEW, I spoke with the Bucks first. I've been close to the Bucks. I just said that a minute ago. We've been great friends for a long time, and I've really enjoyed working with Tony Khan. Tony Khan's legitimately a very, very good human being, I think. So we'll see. But business is business. Sometimes things change. You never know. I love AEW. I'm cool with staying with AEW. I really enjoy the locker room there. I enjoy the vibe there, but if that's not what happens, then that's not what happens, and life goes on. It's all good.
Certainly so. PJ saying to him, the more options means the better product for all of us. When WCW and WWF were head-to-head, business was at its best.
That is correct, PJ. Yes, the more options, the better. I mean, it's better for the wrestlers. It's better for anyone who works in production. It's anyone who works behind the scenes. And then the more companies that are out there that are successful, that are thriving, that's more jobs there are for people in the wrestling industry. And I'm all about the wrestling industry because that's my love. It's my passion. So I want to do as well as possible.
Chris North, Anglin saying highly rational Matt and Hurricane fight Aldis and Pierce for control of the WWE shows. Oh,
oh, I like that. Yeah.
Authority figure Matt Hardy.
Sugar Shane and Broken Matt taking over Nick Aldis and Brothers Place. That's great.
I've never thought about authority figure Matt Hardy, but that's something maybe I'll have to put in my mind and start to wrestle with a little bit. Well, I'm wishing you the best of luck. I know you're going to make the best decision, and AEW will make the best decision for all parties involved. And whether it's you with Jeff going forward in the future, whether it's you on your own, whatever it may be, I know that you're going to be leaving an impact wherever.
And I'm gotta admit, John, like I never tell anybody about my business whenever I do stuff like this. I'm very surprised that actually made it out. That made it out because I haven't said anything to anyone, so I guess I got to give kudos to Sean for doing his job. He was able to tap into something and get some information, but it is what it is. I never expected to be talking about it on this podcast. I expected just to one day pop up and say, oh, I just re-signed with AEW, or, I'm going somewhere else, or I'm going home to fuck off for the rest of my life, whatever it is. It might be any of those options. Who knows?
I didn't expect to be talking about it this week either, but the news literally broke an hour before we got on air here. So what I do appreciate about this podcast is you preach transparency and never shy away from talking about things. And I think that's what makes it one of the very best out there.